Dewalt 735 13 inches planer stopped in the middle of a cut and will not restart. Circuit breaker button is not out. What to do?
Welcome. My name is XXXXX XXXXX would be glad to assist. Can you remove the two caps on the side of the motor? They have screwdriver slots usually to unscrew them. There are brushes under the caps. The brushes may be worn out, and if they are new, ones are needed. Image src/src alt/alt, width 100.40160642570281 width height 100/height style/style/image.
The brushes are brand new.
Okay, that wasn't posted, so I was unaware, sorry. Do you have a multimeter to test the switch?
Motor just rebuilt last week. Worked fine for the last 3 days. Suddenly stopped in the middle of a cut that may have been too thick.
Wow, just rebuilt. It should not have issues this soon. I would still look at the brushes, then a meter to test the input and output of the switch would give reference as to what it is doing.
You don't have a multimeter. How would I test the switch?
Possible circuit breaker is bad. Testing is about the only way to isolate where the problem originates. Find the power in from the circuit breaker, should be able to trace the wires once you have opened for access. Trying to locate a manual with the wiring diagram, have not found one as yet to help in following the wires to each location. Found a manual, but no wiring diagram. It does state this though. If the unit does not run, check to see if the unit is plugged in. If the dust shroud is properly in place. If the top cover is properly in place. If the circuit breaker needs to be reset. So, that leads me to believe there are micro switches on the dust shroud and top cover. Maybe one of them is not making contact. Click here to see the micro switch and see if you can locate them. Item number 68 on the drawing here. Set your meter for AC voltage and test the circuit breaker first in and out for voltage. Then move to the on and off switch. Use one lead to ground and one lead to the power terminals.
It says to push the circuit breaker button, but nothing happens and the button is loose with no spring or tension. The micro switch on the dust shroud makes no difference when it is pressed. The main switch still does not activate anything.
Is the circuit breaker pushed in? In other words, it is set down and not popped up? Or is it up and just springy and will not go down and stay?
It is not popped up, seems to be non-operational, not sticking out or staying in.
Can you use your meter and set for AC voltage? Then measure the terminals. Both terminals should have power if it is good. Click here is what a new looks like when set. Unplug the power cord, remove the two wires and see if you can join them together temporarily for a test. Don't cut the terminals off the wires, just see if you can use something to keep them touching each other for a real quick check. Then turn on power for a brief moment.
I will check that now. Back soon.
Okay, sounds great.
Check the circuit breaker. Fine. But the micro switch was non-functional, so I bypassed it and everything works again. Performed the micro switch-ectomy and the planer is back in business without it. Many thanks for your helpful clues.
Excellent work, glad it was at least a small item and not a high-valued one. Here is the switch if you need to order one, gives the part number etc.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/ythi.